A big New England welcome from Portland, Maine. This is good old JR, Jim Ross here with Jerry the King Lawler.
I've never seen a crowd so fired up, JR. They can't wait to get started, and neither can I.
That makes two of us, King. I don't think Portland's going to know what hit it after tonight.
After some of the things we've seen in this ring, JR, I think we'd better remind the folks at home not to try this stuff themselves.
That's for damn sure, King. The WWE superstars are trained professionals.
And even they don't walk away from every match in the best shape.
They sure don't. We've seen more than one superstar taken out of here on a stretcher.
I think it's pretty obvious.
And what a slobber knocker of a shot with that sledgehammer.
That'll rearrange your facial features for sure, JR.
Ugh. Ugh. I've got...
Oh no! This is terrible! You can't let your opponent build this kind of momentum!
Well, all I can say is someone's been eating their vitamins and saying their prayers.
I don't think these superstars have any intention of taking it easy on each other tonight.
That's not what they signed up for, King. And quite frankly, I think these fans would be disappointed if they didn't go all out.
That's easy. Uh-oh. This is gonna hurt.
Man alive. You talk about physical dominance. He picked up his opponent effortlessly and used that security barricade as a...
Oh, man! Did you hear that chair shot, JR?
I'd be surprised if there was a single person in this arena who didn't, King.
Oh my gosh! Look at all that blood! That's gonna leave a mark.
What a brutal match! The referee should step in there and stop this thing.
What? Are you crazy? It's just getting good, JR.
What a vicious chair shot!
That chair was never meant to be used like that, JR.
He's got his sights set on debilitating that arm.
That's smart strategy, JR. It's a lot easier to destroy just one part of your opponent's body than it is to destroy the whole thing. I think...
Well, it looks to me as if that arm has been... I don't think he's climbing up there for the view. Boy, what a match. I wouldn't even hazard a guess as to who's going to win this thing.
What? Have you got both your contacts in one eye, JR? It's been obvious to me since the start of the match.
Oh no! That last shot busted him wide open.
It sure did, JR. And if I can borrow one of your lines, business is picking up.
This isn't business, King. That's a human being in there, and he's in bad shape now.
You gotta respect the commitment and the dedication of these superstars to their careers.
No question about it, King. You're putting a lot on the line when you climb that turnbuckle. And now a pin. This could be it.
I don't think that these superstars have even contemplated the fact that they might lose.
I'm sure they haven't. That's not the kind of attitude you come in with and expect to pick up the win.
You're right about that, JR. If you can't see yourself having your arm raised by the referee when it's over, don't bother showing up.
A reversal. Can he capitalize on it?
He's going for the cover, JR. This has gone beyond just being a match, JR. I think these superstars genuinely hate each other.
There's no love lost between these competitors, that's for sure. If looks could kill, somebody would be pushing up daisies right now.
And you've got to admit, that makes for a much more interesting match, JR.
It sure does. But I just hope these superstars can settle their differences in the ring and leave it at that. What an incredible performance by these phenomenal superstars.
Did you expect anything less, JR? I mean, look who's in the ring right now.
No, I didn't, King. I had high expectations, and I'm happy to say that this match has exceeded them all. This capacity crowd is making their opinions known tonight.
They sure are, JR, and I love to hear it.
I tell you, King, sometimes I get exhausted just watching these superstars.
You're not going to win a match by insulting your opponent.
No, but having the crowd behind you can certainly get the adrenaline pumping. You've got to ask yourself, how much punishment will these superstars be able to withstand tonight?
I don't know, JR, but I think they're pretty intent on finding out.
They certainly are. I don't know how it's going to end, but I can guarantee you they're going to leave it all in the ring.
I think I see where this one's going, JR. I don't think we're very far from the end of the match.
I disagree entirely, King. I bet my Oklahoma Sooner ass that this one isn't even close to being over.
That's a pretty big bet, JR. Are you sure you're able to cover it? So, how do you think this one's going to turn out, JR?
Honestly, King, I have absolutely no idea. Anything can happen here in the WWE.
But you've got to have a guess, right?
I might, but I'd rather keep it to myself if it's all the same to you, King.
Man, is there even going to be anything left of these superstars by the time they're done?
Not if they have their way, King. Everything, that security barricade might come into play here.
That's an understatement, JR. A drop like that onto the barricade can knock the wind out of you and crack your ribs.
Well, you can't ever accuse the WWE fans of being shy about saying what's on their minds.
You sure can, JR, and I don't think we'd have it any other way. Can you believe we actually get paid to do this job, JR?
It's like a dream come true, King. Except for...
Uh-oh. This is not the kind of position you want to find yourself in.
And that doesn't make it any better. A vicious, grinding forearm right across the face. The pain must be excruciating.
If any superstar shows the slightest hint of weakness, they've lost the match.
That's for sure. No matter how beat up you are, you can't ever let your opponent know the extent of your injuries.
And that's easier said than done, JR. The human body can only absorb so much punishment. There's the reversal. You talk about ruthless aggression. Look at the way these superstars have been going. Oh my gosh! Head first into the table, over and over.
And there's no give to that table whatsoever. That skull will crack before the table does.
I'm not sure I agree with what the crowd is chanting, JR, but I guess it's their right.
You're damn right it is. It comes with the price of admission. He's all fired up now, King, and I'd hate to be on the receiving end.
I don't think his opponent's got a hope of hurting him now.
Look at this! Look at this! You talk about a house of fire, you're seeing it right here!
Yeah? Well, somebody better put out that fire, or this one's not going to end well. Oh my gosh! The fight just spilled out into the crowd!
That just goes to show you, King, anything can happen in the WWE. I'll be honest with you, King. This is not the way I thought this match would go at all.
Me neither, JR. I guess that just goes to show that anything can happen in the WWE.
I think you hit the nail right on the head, King. And it's that unpredictability that makes it so exciting. I'm sure these competitors have studied each other very carefully.
This match would be over by now if they hadn't, JR. You never get into the ring without doing your homework.
That would be a recipe for disaster for sure, King.
I think we're going to find out just how much punishment the human body can withstand here tonight.
I think you're right, King.
Uh-oh. Come on. You got to stop this guy before he really gets going.
I don't think that's going to happen, King. He's built up too much momentum to be stopped now. This match is going to continue until someone's completely debilitated. And considering the resiliency of these superstars, that's not going to be easy.
That's for sure. No one in this match is going down without a fight.
And I wouldn't expect any less from them, King. Like them or not, you've got to respect the tenacity of each and every WWE superstar. Oh! This is Raw action at its finest. That's why Raw is the #1 brand of sports entertainment.
You got that right, JR. You're not going to see this kind of action on SmackDown.
Not on SmackDown or anywhere else. There's nothing else out there that can come close to the excitement of seeing the Raw superstars perform live.
These superstars are going to tear each other apart.
That's exactly what the fans paid to see, King, and they're not.
He's going for the pin.
1, 2, 3. These superstars.
Here's your winner,